Hi, everyone, and welcome. We are going to be talking about bulletproof immunity today, the natural way that we can stay strong and resilient. We realize that you might have some questions, and please feel free to give Dr. Justine a quick text at 647-987-9355. I wanted to welcome Dr. Justine and Dr. Yale here with us today. So Dr. Justine is our leader here at the Justine Blainey Wellness Center, and her main objective is to be able to provide the very best care to you so that you can be the best version of yourself. And I wanted to welcome our new naturopathic doctor here at the center, Dr. Nazila Yal. And Dr. Yal really promotes safe and an integrated approach that is very patient-centered for her care. She loves to address the root cause of multiple illnesses and issues so that she can support your body's natural ability to heal. Please help me welcome both Dr. Justine and Dr. Yale.
Hello, everyone, and we've got great information for you today, but always stay tuned because we try to provide you something every single week. So, Angela, our co-op student, did a video on, arthritis and strength and weakness and pain in your hands and fingers. So there's a video for finger exercises and hand exercises. We have information about gratitude, and coming up is the Dine with Doc with me on protecting your heart. That's coming up in November. Now, you do need to reserve your seat at the front desk for that. That is in Brampton, and it is one that we have to pre-register in advance, but it's going to be awesome. We just had one recently and huge turnout. And then we'll be talking about inflammation. So much information just for you to share wherever you are all over the world in order to help you be your best, because our mission is about helping you and helping families with love, education, and life enhancing care so that you can express your true potential. We want you to be your best throughout your entire life. Now, why does this matter? We're talking about immune system, when people sneezing, coughing, worried about being sick on the media. It's all about negative Nelly. The measles are up, the flu is up, the pneumonia is up. People are sick everywhere. All it is negative, negative, negative. So we want to bring good news to you and help you to be stronger from within. So that, yes, if you're around kids that go to daycare, kids that go to school, grandparents, parents that might visit the hospital, or you visit the hospital, areas where there's tons of germs and sickness, that you're taking care of your temple. We want you to be strong from the inside out and work on prevention and less fear so you can be your best. Now, your immune system is under a ton of pressure right now. The food, the fast food, the Tim Hortons, the drive-bys, the chronic stress from work and home and finances, and just the toxins in the air, the toxins that we consume damage our immune system. Our immune system's like that security system, protecting your home. But there's tons of intruders that get in there through the cracks, like mice getting into your home, and you didn't know where that hole was. And these areas are things like stress, sugars, and toxins that destroy and get to the homeowner. So our goal is to protect your body and to support your immune system. So don't be scared. We're going to provide you with tools and the real truth about how to prevent sickness. And then you, of course, can see our naturopath, Dr. Yal, if you do get sick. It does happen. Sometimes we do get run down. We're not perfect. Sometimes work is overwhelming. Our children are overwhelmed. Our children are sick, and then we get run down because we're tired all night. There are solutions, and there are natural solutions. Personally, in our family, we do tons of naturopathy, tons of nutritional support, of course, rest and water, and getting adjusted. So we're going to talk about also areas for prevention, but if you do get sick, you'll want to see your chiropractor and your naturopath. Your immune system, how does it work? Dr. Yal, let's talk to you. We're looking forward to hearing what you have to say, and we're grateful for you on our team to help our families be healthier.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Justine. Okay, there are different layers of immune system. The first layer is like innate immune system, which acts as a bouncer in a club. It reacts very fast and it understands the threats. The second layer is adaptive immune system. It has a memory. When you are in contact with any infection, it has an memory. It can understand why you are in contact and it reacts very fast and in milder and very faster than the previous one. Innate immune system is a like fast responder, and the immunity, adaptive immunity, is long-term memory. Another layer is our gut immune system, which is very important. It counts as 70% of our immune system. Second, and another layer on top of all of this is our immune system in our brain, which is the commander, CEO of our everything.
Definitely, Dr. Yal. And so, super important to understand that the gut health and the brain is all connected, that brain gut axis. And that's why we have an amazing wellness talks about gut health. And we won't cover everything on gut health today, but we do have numerous wellness talks and makeovers in order to help you be best and understand the importance of gut health. Now, when we get into allergies, that plays a huge role in causing overall stress on your body. And allergies have plagued me since I think I was born. They told me as a baby I was allergic to my mother's milk. I'm not sure that was possible, but I was allergic to what my mother was eating that was in my mother's milk. And they didn't explain that to her. So I was always covered in rashes and welts just as an infant. Grew up always with headaches, migraines, asthma, upset stomach, constant pill for every ill, tons of Tylenol, tons of Advil, and just didn't know and understand these allergies. I did skin testing on your forearm. I did under the tongue testing, and all of that would just tell me what to avoid, but not how to empower me so that I could get back to eating things like eggs or dairy. And since then, I've done a ton of work with naturopaths and with skio technique and biofeedback technique with homeopathy. So now I can eat eggs again. I can have dairy again. Um, and of course in moderation, but you make changes and you can improve your allergies and make it a lot better. Even those who are anaphylactic, you may not fix it, but you can make it so that it's a little less threatening by doing work to protect your temples so that your body is stronger in the first place. So, very, very close to my heart. Dr. Yell, allergies really can affect our temple and affect our immune system. Can you explain more?
Yeah, exactly. As you said, when something non-dangerous coming in our body reacts to does this non-dangerous stuff like something. It understands it's like bad stuff. It's very important to treat it and help it. We want to find the root cause of everything. When this false alarm causing inflammation in your body, you may experience tiredness, you may experience very brain fog, any inflammation in your body. It starts a vicious cycle. It's very important to find out what is triggering this false alarm.
Absolutely. And many times we're challenged by different triggers that we don't even know are there. Pollen, molds, different foods, the chemicals in the foods that you don't even realize, for me, might have been crackers or bread. My family didn't know any better. We grew up with white bread and peanut butter, full of sugar and full of toxins. And you see that these breads don't go bad, they last a whole week. And it's because they've got chemicals in them rather than if you're making your own bread. So, definitely getting to the chemicals in our environment and how they can affect our overall health, weakening our system, literally opening our doors to allergies and making it a problem. So these different triggers can affect our immune system, affect our gut health, and create what's called that toxic overload. So that we're just overwhelmed. Like if we have a little bit of toxins, we're okay. We can manage it. But more and more and more and more, and then our body says, huh, it's enough, and crashes. And that's what can happen with a lot of these different systems. And Angela, if we want to change the allergies, eventually they turn to an overreaction. And for me, I'm gluten sensitive. For example, I'm not allergic to gluten, but if I have gluten, I feel weak. I feel achy in my joints. I feel more fatigued. I'll get a rash. That's not an anaphylactic reaction, but it's still a reaction. And if overdone, then it builds and builds and builds, and then your immune system is lowered. Can you explain that a little bit, Dr.?
Yeah, because these gluten, dairy, and soy, they have some particle causing inflammation in your body. This inflammation is a barrier for healing. We want to support the healing. How we can support this healing? By glutamine, bone broth, some probiotic. These probiotic have phenomenal good bacteria. They can help us for healing. And also L-glutamine is a very a good bone broth, is nutritious. It has lots of good nutrients. Then you can go for adjustment. If there is any inflammation, it can cover, and it can help for the stress reduction in your body, which is another barrier for healing.
Absolutely, Dr. Yal. And so many of these probiotics, though, when you go to the grocery store, you go to the health food store, it's overwhelming. You look at these aisles and aisles of vitamins and supplements. Which one do you take? And that's why you see a specialist. You see a naturopath, you talk, you have a thorough examination to determine what's happening with your own gut health. You might have to do stool samples, you might have to do urine analysis, you might have to do a full journal of your nutrition and your diet, so that the doctor can really understand what's happening to you and then prescribe specific probiotics for you. And so on my own weight loss journey, I didn't even think I had a gut issue. I knew I had an allergy issue. I knew I didn't get sick often. But once I started some good probiotics and gut vitamins, I was also able to detox better and then also lose weight and be able to get even more energy. So certain, very important to have specific examinations. So if we look at short-term and long-term consequences of different pills, Dr. Yal, how would you respond to some of these, typically conventional medicines that are prescribed?
Yeah, these corticosteroid, these NSAIDs, these ibuprofen, all of them antihistamines, they're all like makeup. They cover the surface. It's not something root cause. We have a very good test. We check, we have food sensitivity panels. We have gut microbiome test. We check with these panels and with this gut microbiome, and then we will find out the root cause of your symptom, and then we will work on those areas. If you are feeling fatigue, you got any loose stool or hard stool or any liver strain, you are not detoxifying, there might be some burden of toxin in your body. So we will work on those areas and remove all of the toxin and improve your healing power of your body naturally, and providing you the best option.
Excellent. Totally agree with you, Dr. Yal. I want to make sure everybody realizes the references for everything that we're saying is at the bottom of the page. So you know that everything that Dr. Yal and myself are talking about, we make sure that each slide is referenced and each one of our talks is referenced. I know that for allergies, for me, I just took Sinutab, Claritin as a child growing up with my, and I would just take those. And then the more I took, the more I needed. And then they stopped working. And that's when I realized, holy cow, I need some real more specific help, not just the makeup, like she said, not just masking the system, but actually getting to the root cause.
Exactly. You are not born with claritin deficiency. If you are taking claritin, if you are taking corticosteroid, if you are taking PPI like pantoprazole, omeprazole, it suppress your healing power of your immune system. It suppress everything, and then you are not able to continue. It causes more inflammation, it causes more disruption in your gut microbiome, which is the first line in your immunity. Everything will be disturbed. NSAIDs are not effective if you are not feeling good.
Yeah. And even can have numerous side effects, and you can see those now easily online, or your pharmacist can be very, very helpful in helping to explain some of the consequences and long term side effects, because we may not feel it short term, but in small amounts, but the more frequent those small amounts are, and the more frequent and increases dosage, which was my challenge. I was taking way too much to try and manage my allergies as a child. I was actually destroying my immune system. And it wasn't until I learned later how to get off of those because they stopped working that I could strengthen my temple, strengthen my gut lining, and strengthen my immune system. So definitely creating a team. That's why on your healthcare team, you want your naturopath, your chiropractor, your nutritionist, your medical doctor, your dentist, your optometrist, your massage therapist, acupuncture. You want that full team for you to be your best, just like an Olympic athlete. So when we talk about bulletproofing your immune system, we need to take care of your nervous system. It controls all function. That's reducing the stress on your body, your brain, and gut axis. We need good nutrition going in. We need to take care of that mindset, because if we're stressed out, everything goes to worse, and it increases our cortisol response, creating a lowered immune system. We need to move, and we're going to talk about that, and we need to minimize those toxins. So these are the 5 essentials of health. In order to get to the root cause, we need to address all of those. So when we deal with chronic stress, that's like the software bug in your system when your computer doesn't work, and then it rewrites your whole immune system. So I think everybody knows that if you're stressed more, you tend to get sick more. Stressed more, you get more headaches, more upset stomach. Even if you're just worried about big presentation, upset stomach, you get those butterflies. And the less stress, the more you heal. If you're increased stress, increased cortisol, lowered your immune system. It affects your entire body. So there are areas to reduce stress. Getting your chiropractic adjustments will help reduce stress on your nervous system. But talking to Dr. Yal, our naturopath, about breath work, and we have wellness talks on that, going back and talking about gratitude times, shifting our mindset is super, super important. We don't want to just change our biology, we want to change our mindset. So, one of the breathing exercises that you can do is a 4x4. That's breathe in for 4, hold for 4, breathe out for 4, hold for 4. Or if you do vagal tone breathing, that's a 4-7-8. Breathe in for 4, hold for 7, and then breathe out for 8. These breathing techniques just slow things down, allows us to regroup. All right. Even doing gratitude journaling or orally gratitude just before bed and when we wake up, when you brush your teeth, something that you can remember all the time, resets your mindset, that helps your entire biology. And very key is the negative media that creates all this fear. We don't want to watch negative news before bed. We want to limit the blue light, limit the negative colors coming into our eyes, and read, focus on prayer, focus on meditation, focus on gratitude, especially that hour before bed. So that whole thing about I need to watch TV to sleep, no way. All that's doing is making you a zombie, but it's not actually helping you get good, deep, quality sleep. So, as we get into eating healthier, it is super, super important to get food from nature, or people will say food from God. That is food that doesn't come in a package, a bag or a box or a can, that has high levels of these vitamins. Getting your good, healthy fats that helps your brain function, and those phytonutrients to improve your immune system, to help the mucus, right? We have barriers from immune system, the snot in your nose, the mucus in your mouth, the mucus around your gut health. All of that helps you to fight off these invaders. However, if you have increased sugar, increased seed oils, and this is sneaky stuff, it's in everything, even diet pops and even crackers and breads and buns and muffins. This stuff is hidden and it's cheap, so they use it to make it taste good, but it's danger to your gut and the headquarters of your immune system. Our body is going to thrive off healthy fibers, fermented foods, foods with lots of color. And that's why it's so important that if you take care of your gut and the colors that you see in that picture, more colors, more natural foods, that helps your immune headquarters. And this is tough to do. It changes how we think about our food, because it means you're not driving to the drive-in, you're not getting pre-packaged pre-meals or food that you just throw in the microwave. It requires food prep. For us, that's Sundays and Tuesdays. Or Sundays and Wednesdays for my daughter. You're food prepping so that you're not having to think every day, what am I cooking? What am I making? But you're thinking in advance. So, Dr. Yal, what would be some of the hints that you would talk about for healthy gas in the tank?
Okay, it's very important to have rainbow of vegetables. Every color has a different antioxidant. It's very important to have every color every day. If you can't, you can have some multivitamins, but fresh one is the best one. Start with protein, not sugar. Start with just protein, fiber, vegetables in your day, not with caffeine, not with lots of sugar stuff. Cut ultra processed seeds oil and added refined sugar and carbohydrate. Have lots of good oil like olive oil, coconut oil. They are healing and they are very important. Have lots of fermented vegetables in your diet to support your gut microbiome. They have acid. They can kill bad bacteria which are coming into your body. Avoid any packaged and processed food. These packaged and processed food, they have microplastic. They come into your body. They are like a barrier for healing. It's very important to eat very clean.
Thank you so much, Dr. Yala. And I'll tell you, that's not how I grew up. So it takes a little bit to change. I grew up with bagels, mini wheats, Vector cereal, oatmeal, being told that oatmeal will help your heart. I grew up thinking that that was a healthy breakfast, right? Or an egg McMuffin, but it's on a muffin, right? Or getting a muffin in a coffee, or you see a donut in coffee. That's just acid and sugar. So if this is difficult for you, that's why you need a coach to slowly help you make those changes so they become permanent changes. You don't try to do it on your own, and then all of a sudden you quit in 2 days, or you're quitting a week and you never actually made permanent change. Slow, consistent change with a coach will help you. And that's why Dr. Yao will provide consultations, meet and greets, to talk to her, get to know her, see how she would be helping you coach you to make these lifestyle long-term changes, so you actually make permanent change rather than just a week or two, or changing for January, for the New Year's resolution, and it never lasts. And we know people gain weight a little bit each year, and then it gets harder and harder to manage. And then you start to see people get sick, in the fall months, and then after Christmas. And typically, that's when we're having worse foods and more alcohol. So this is the time to get your coach so that you can manage the holiday season better. Now, movement is also key. Our body needs us to move. The more we sit, the worse it is. Um, And we know that exercise gets your natural killer cells, your T cells going. It enhances your immune system. It enhances lymphatic flow. It helps you get the junk out the more you move. Even light walking, swimming will make a difference. When you help your lymphatic system, that's like your body's sewage system, the junk, and you want to flush it out and learn ways to flush it out. And that can be done with lymphatic massage and acupuncture as well if you need extra assistance. Moderate rebounding. You can buy a rebounder, but if you don't, you can simply bounce. Moderate rebounding and getting bounce into your step will also help with lymphatic drainage. Lymphatic drainage brushing, lymph drainage brushing can help. And then getting up to little higher levels of moderate exercise, getting your breath a little bit more out of breath will help. So, so if you're going for a walk or a bike ride, you go a little faster, go a little slower, go faster, go slower to get more lymphatics flowing, your immune system functioning at a higher level. The more you move, the better it is. It helps you defend easier. So the minimum goal nationally is to get 30 minutes, 5 days a week. 30 minutes, 5 days a week of minimum to moderate exercise. And that's the minimum goal to stay still. But if your health is already a problem, you need to increase it, and you might need a coach to help you along so that you're not feeling sore and you're not doing too much too soon and then you burn out. We need to look and learn how to breathe properly. And that's why personal trainers, kinesiologists, physiotherapists can help you learn how to do the exercises safely. So, for example, in this picture, the deadlift, a lot of people get injured doing deadlifts. We have a video on how to do safe deadlifting just because of that on YouTube, Facebook, and our website. But learning new exercise programs to support your spine, your nervous system, to support your immune system, you might need some coaching at the beginning to do it safely. Now, next thing is getting rid of those toxins. They're everywhere. We're breathing in them, we're sitting on them, we're standing on the carpet, we're eating them. They're everywhere. So, Dr. Yal, what would be some of the ideas and thoughts about clearing out that junk?
Exactly. We have different system for clearing these junks like liver, kidney, gut, lungs, and skin. First step is drink lots of water. It improves their circulation. It helps for the skin. And it's very important for bowel movement. It's good for your kidney function. It's very important to have lots of water. Then you can improve your health by having lots of sauna, or having sweating, exercise, having good nutrient to carry out all of those toxins which is accumulated in your liver and your gut. Then bowel movement, it's very important. If you drink lots of water, lots of vegetables, you may have better bowel movement and you will detoxify all of those toxins. And again, drinking enough water, it can help your kidney to detoxify all of these toxins. Then okay. It's again, I'm always saying drinking water is the key factor for detoxification, and it improves your circulation, it improves your gut health and sweat daily. It's very important to have good circulation and having enough water for detoxification.
And as it says that there's different foundational supplements, that can be really confusing. What supplements, what digestive enzymes are best for you? I know my husband's tried digestive enzymes and sometimes he feels worse. So you got to find the right one for you based on your gut microbiome. And that's why it's important to get a coach. For me, I had to do that as well. Get a coach, get the assistance, and make sure that the supplements you're taking is specific for you. For example, as a vegetarian, I need to take different supplements than my husband. As a female, I need to take different supplements than my husband in different amounts. So, super important to get the advice and make sure you're not wasting your money on supplements that make you feel worse or taking too much or the wrong ones that are not supporting your inner immune system. Now, your nervous system is the command center of your whole body. You see this picture. The nervous system goes to your gut health, and we've been talking about how that helps your immune system. If there's interference with your brain sending a message down your spinal cord, those can be misalignments or subluxations, means less than light in the nervous system. And that means confusion. Your body goes, what do I do? And so we want to make sure getting those adjustments creates clarity in those messages from your brain to all the different organs in your body, reducing that stress. And when you reduce stress, it improves your immune system. And there's tons of research on this. If we look, the adjustments can boost your IgA levels. That's from Terdosine IgN from 2008. Adjustments will improve your vagus nerve stimulation and reducing overall inflammation. That's Tracy 2002. Spinal adjustments will stimulate your parasympathetic nervous system. That's from Zhang in 2018. So again, we always provide the research for you. Your nervous system needs good communication, like service agents. We want to make sure the brain is communicating well and there is no broken system to all the different organs in your body. So, what are your action steps? Make sure you get your spine and your nervous system checked. Make sure there's no stress, there's no low shoulder, there's no high hip, there's no forward head posture. And if you have a job that always forces you forward, or you always have to drive, or physical labor, then how do you manage it? What are the home exercises you can do? Make sure that you're on a plan for prevention, a care plan, not just pain focused. That's just, again, makeup covering the top of your face. It doesn't get to the root cause. Want to make sure our nervous system's functioning well and making sure you get your spinal checkups. But along with that, we all need to make sure we have a coach, a naturopath, looking at our bowel movements, talking to us about our gut microbiome, looking at our urine analysis, looking at our hormone analysis, looking at our stress management techniques. And then they will talk to us about different supplements that might help, different homeopathics that might help, different hormone assessments that might help. They'll talk to us about different stress management techniques, acupuncture that might help. There's so many tools in their toolbox that helps you be your best. So again, we do believe in having the team approach. All right. Now, your nervous system controls everything in your body. So definitely getting those checkups so your spine is functioning better. So if we look at the checklist for you to have an amazing, healthy nutrition, we need to manage our mindset, our stress, and that can be helped along with your nutrition, fuel for healthy defense with your naturopath. We need to get moving and doing the right exercises. That can be helped with your kinesiologist, your physiotherapist, your chiropractor. We need to do a detox, drain the swamp, get rid of the toxins, and do it safely so you don't end up toxic and sick. And that's with your naturopath. And of course, working with your chiropractor or your osteopath to help restore your command center, your nervous system.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Yal, for being with us. We love having you. People are talking amazing things about Dr. Yal and her listening skills and helping to really get to the root cause and understanding you specifically. So very different than a medical visit that might be 5 minutes. Dr. Yal will do a very specific examination. Her intake forms are so custom, so specific. They are lengthy, but that's to get to know you better and really get to the root cause. And her visits are over 30 minutes long in order to be able to get you to your top shape. So stay connected with us. Tons of information on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, on our podcast. We're here for you, providing free information weekly, and we do provide custom meet and greets, 5 to 10 minutes to chat with our practitioners, with Dr. Yal, to make sure it's a great fit. We're here for you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for all of information, and I'm happy to help you.